Hey guys, welcome back to Maverick's Arcade. My name is Chuck, and today the title's kind of weird, isn't it? We're going to be wallpapering the arcade. So yes, you did hear me correctly. We're going to wallpaper the arcade machine. Now I find that really funny because growing up, my father was a wallpaper hanger, and people used to call him paper hanger and stuff like that. And my dad made sure I knew how to do it, so in case I ever needed a fallback job, that I knew how to do that. I could earn money doing it. And unfortunately, it's kind of like very much out of style. And a single wallpaper person can't really compete as much anymore as it used to be able to when I was younger. So while I haven't used that skill, I know how to do it. And I'll tell you one thing, on the days where we'd be at a hotel or something hanging bolts of vinyl, and he would push that bolt of vinyl towards me, and I get that woof. Whew, that was the first time I was ever just loopy. So, anyway, those are some good childhood memories of being loopy. That's great. So, but the reason why I'm calling it wallpaper is because as the control panel you saw, we used contact paper to put on that control panel because I didn't have the design templates that I wanted from Game On Graphics. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a much wider roll of contact paper. And apparently at that point, they just call it wallpaper. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take that Arcade1UP machine and we're going to put the wallpaper vinyl on it. And the one thing I decided I was going to do is like the other arcade where I only on the control panel I actually had little 4x6 photos that I cut out and put all over the control panel. I figured it might be really cool to have you guys help decorate with it. So what I'd like you guys to do in the comments is, or actually in an email, is send me an email to mavericksarcade@gmail.com and include the graphic that's kind of like good for a 4x6 printout and the name you would like me to put on it. Now, don't get silly. Don't put any silly names that are inappropriate. But I'm gonna let you guys help me decorate the arcade, and I'm gonna kind of print out these pictures and stick them on the arcade, kind of like a wall of stickers all over the arcade. So you're gonna help me decorate it. So make sure to shoot me an email. Once you have, put a comment in the comments below telling me, I sent XYZ, whatever it is you're sending me. Let me know. Put it in the comments. We got to get those, communications and engagements and everything going up so I can help grow this channel and get, my videos shared more. So also, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. You know the deal. Do it all real quick. Okay, thank you. And now we're going to go and wallpaper the arcade. All right, so we've got this wallpaper that's going to cover the sides. We've just got to be very careful because I've already stripped some of the paper off the side. And when you do strip it, you just got to pull it very close vertically and just get it to try to not split it. And just, continue with that, get all of it off. There'll be some very sticky residue. And unfortunately, it's gotten very dusty sitting here in my basement. So I'm going to just vinyl over the damn thing. I'm not even going to try to clean it. It's just too sticky. But I also need to, when I set this on its side, I need to make sure to have something to set it on so it doesn't stick to the green screen here. So let's go ahead and first get off the little bit of remaining tape or decal that's left on here, which is right here. And again, pull like this and just try to wiggle it so it does not rip. We're trying not to have to go back too much with a fine tooth comb and get the sticker off. Not see it's starting to rip there. We got a little tab there. Okay. And it looks like it tried to shred on us. So pick a little bit. There we go. That side's done. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Next, what we want to do is use the box. Use the box from how this was shipped to me to put the one up on its side. Now, while it's on its side, These screws are in there very tight, but this screw and the screw above it, I want to keep accessibility to those screws. And the reason why is because if I need to work on this, I want to be able to loosen those screws and locate them easily without having to tear through the new vinyl. So we're going to go ahead and remove those screws while it's on this side. So those two screws right here, they're the same size, which is convenient. Now we also want to put the side that's most likely, we're going to want to have this piece go from the bottom to the top. That way this part that could potentially have any damage on it will be at the bottom of the arcade, which will probably be sitting inside the little stand most of the time. You know, that way nobody will need to see it because it'll be out of view. Got to turn on our second camera angle here. Well, it looks like I actually already had it on. Good for me. All right. Now, this is the part I'm not too thrilled about because, again, we're going to start with this piece being at the bottom. I'm going to just let it roll out. Roll out to here, which means I'm going to cut it right here. And luckily, this paper has little guidelines that for me to follow. And in all honesty, looks like my scissors will cut it easier. All right. The first part of this thing's here. We're going to want this to cover this side like that. So the next piece that we're going to do is this backing. And hopefully we can pull it taut without too many wrinkles. That's the part that's making me nervous. Is this would be obviously easier if I had an extra set of hands to guide this. But we're going to find out, aren't we? So I'm going to fold this underneath here, like so, and bring this up to here, and let that sit there and verify the measurement's still good there. Yes. So now I'm going to press on this side. I'm going to bring it nice and flat down here. And now that we've got that side pressed, I should be able to just pull this side down, piece at a time. Again, flatten it out as we go. Get rid of this wrinkle right here. That is from a hole. Now, there may also be some bubbles because I didn't just strip this. You know, it's been sitting in the basement collecting dust and stuff. So, I mean, there could be a dust bunny under there that I'm missing. Who knows? But I can see wrinkles are popping up here, and I'm able to get most of them to pop out. That seems to be gunk. This is the corner of the arcade in here, which we'll need to flush out more later. And this is the widest part that was the biggest concern as far as the placement goes. but we made it past that, so that's good. And that's the bottom of the arcade. So now pushing down this way. Again, the good thing is too, this is in that realm that will be underneath the lift, but let's still try to get it as nice as possible, right? A little bit warm. Okay, again, that part I'm not too concerned about. I'm now looking for where my edges are. My edge is right here. That's a screw hole for the panel. I'm fine with that. What I might want to do before I proceed is look to get a better razor knife that'll be a little more, or at least to change the blade so it'll be nice and sharp to get that edge nice and clean. The blade I've got in there is fairly old. All right, so we're going to try to use our new knife to cut around this edge. Looks like it goes down through here. What I'm going to do is just keep that blade on the edge. Go around there real rough. And then I'll focus it in later. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting with that blade at the edge, so I'm not hitting the edge of the rubber. Instead, it's cutting like that. And then, like I said, I can go in and fine tune it later. But I mean, this is still a hell of a lot better than what it looked like before, with just the removed NBA Jam decal. So that's a rough cutting. And then we'll go clean it up more in the next pass over. Actually, that's a nice, real clean cut there. I'm getting used to this blade. I wasn't sure how the old blade was so dirty that it just wasn't cutting well. I've not had a really good blade to use in a long time, so this is part of the issue. Keep my fingers out of here. So that's one thing you want to make sure also to use a sharp blade. I bought this set because, like I said, the old blade was really, really messed up, and my hands are what I use for work. I cannot risk injuring my hands, so I'm going to make sure I have the right tool, a nice, good, sharp blade. The other thing we want to do is we want to find out where those holes are and put those back in, those screws for this side. So let's see if we can figure out where that hole is. Here it is. There's one. All right. And actually, what I could do, I could have gone underneath. And that's what I'm going to do for this hole because I've drilled 2 other holes in here. Alrighty, to track the hole, we're going to use this Allen key right here. And we're going to look through and make sure we got the right one right here. There we go. And that way, that hole's up there. We can see it. Good to go. And before we lift this thing up and twist it the other way, we're going to tighten back the screws that we took out. There we go. And the same right here. There we go. And then actually this one can go. There we go. So it's nice and tight, just a little peak of the hole sticking on there. Let's get this into a safe place, and then we'll flip this arcade over the other direction. This time, we can set it on the floor. And as you can see, the box. I almost lost the washer. And that box is, oh, I thought I was going to have to pull it off myself. Because again, these are likely to need to be loosened in the future so I can access the top. But the bottom ones, I don't mind covering up because I don't ever foresee the need to remove these. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, so what I'm doing is, as these sides are loose, I'm lifting this piece up, finding the applicable hole, popping a hole through it with the piece. Then do the same thing down here as my guide. And then once I have that figured out, go ahead and screw these in so they are tight. Well, that board didn't get set in place all the way. Now we're going to screw these in. All right. All right, so now we got both sides done. Let's look at the front. So we're going to want to cover this part here, but we're also going to want to take this piece of plastic off and clean you cover the artwork here. Obviously, you can tell from the dust, this has not been cleaned in quite some time. Next, let's get the sticker off. We got one here. And lastly, we got one back there. Oh, and one on the floor. There's probably one on the back of the monitor, too. Probably one on the back of here. On the back of here. We will find out. Let's go ahead and dust off the bottom of here, which I doubt has been done since I got the damn thing. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's kind of gross. Uh-oh. It's like I might have filled up my card. I take a pause and find out. I'm having some issues with the recording just stopping. And I'm wondering if it's because I had a USB-C device plugged in while I was recording. We'll see if that resolves the issue or not. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to put it up on end and cut it. So we're just going to kind of do this right here. Got it all? Looks like it. So let's see how this goes back in here now. Put it back in the grooves. This and this. There you go. Look at that. Nice and pretty. Now, the thing is, with everything else having this, I think we should do this just for consistency, don't you? Give it that flat color. Everything else has got this flat look. We should do that here. All right, we're going to try this in here, like so. Yeah, I love it. That looks nice. It looks clean. That looks good. All right, so we're gonna next time work on the glass. All right, so we're gonna clean this glass off, this plexiglass cover, and then we're gonna take that off and see what we're left to deal with here. Be very careful. We don't want to scratch the plexi. It looks like the edge is right there. Looks like I'm gonna have to be very careful and pry up that edge. Now, here would be a really good place to have a plastic smudger, but I do not. So we're gonna have to very carefully use a flathead. Damn it. All right, so this is a plastic piece here. The graphics are on here, unfortunately. So I'm about to see if possibly these graphics peel off. Because if they do, then what I'll do is I'll put plexi or plastic or the black stuff on here. It is nice to see how the screen pops in and out. But let's see. I'm gonna check off screen if this stuff. Well, how about this? Let's just pop. Alexa, cancel. Let's see if I could do. I could just put the vinyl on this side. Yeah, I could do that. I could just lay the vinyl on the outer edge, and then have this backwards. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that'd be the easiest. So what we'll do is we'll measure this out, cut it out of a piece of vinyl, line it up, and then cut the edges off, and then that will go in the screen. And what that'll do is they'll create a look like that, and then the only shiny piece will be the shiny screen. This will be the same vinyl as this. I think that'll work nicely. And in fact, we'll make the only shiny part be the actual screen. I think that'll work well. That's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the marks. So the first mark is here. So that's going to be the one corner. And then the other corner is, see, we got that one right there. We're going to want it to line up on here. So yeah, we're going to want to stick just to the outside of this line. And then, whoop. Again, this is the part that's going to be just outside this line. Fuck, where was it? Sorry. One right there. Where's the other one? Okay, that one there. And that one there. We're going to put pressure on here to get under here. Right about there. Nope, got to go up just a little bit. Yep, got this corner. And then, like that one, there's a dot, there's a dot. Okay, so it's this dot just slightly outside. So I think that was right here. So basically, if I'm right, then that dot's in there. And then, okay, so that dot, and here. Okay. It's actually right there. All right, so that dot to that dot to that dot. And then what we'll do, let me see, this one was that dot to that dot to this dot here in the bottom. Yeah, and then to that dot. So it's actually just slightly off to this side right here. That dot. Now, yeah, I could have measured this and just cut a arbitrary hole. I could have done that, but all right, so that's good. I could have just measured out the hole and then lined it up, and I'm not sure why I didn't just do that, but it's fine. It'll work. All right, so now I guess this is a good enough straight edge as any. So we're going to go from that dot to this top one. to keep that cut consistent across here. I got a little bit of the razor knife cut right there, so I'm gonna have to carefully throw that out so I don't cut myself on it. I got this little nubbin right here. Gotta get that off so it's nice and straight. All right, that should be good. And then I gotta carefully, I don't wanna cut myself, but we'll carefully let that be on my finger and get it off in the trash can. And we're gonna basically lay this on top of here like that as soon as we can. So I'm gonna cut down here along this line. While it's slipping, I'm just gonna make sure to stay with the line. Yeah. All right. So then I got this. Now we're gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna carefully take off the vinyl here. I think what we're gonna do to make sure that we don't mess it up is we're gonna place this corner first. We're gonna see how we are on this side. Looks good on that side. So now we're gonna reach up, grab this edge. Just keep that going. And then let's get uh-oh. Damn it. That part is trying not to come off nicely. All right. Well, let's see how the other side looks. And a little white mark there. I can probably color these two marks with a marker. And I think that's fine. I ain't gonna worry about that little blip. And then I'll probably cut a little bit off that edge. nice and close on that top edge. All right. Let's put our knife over here and see what we got. Yeah. Let's see this. Oh, I accidentally put it on the side I didn't want to put it on. Oh well. So this is the top, which means that little notch is down the bottom corner, but that's fine. I can put an instruction template or something over that. Let's see. So this is going to go in here like this. Is that right? Where's the Arcade1UP? Yeah, so this is normally the top. This will normally go in here like that. Yeah. I think it looks better than this little blemish here. Certainly looks better than having all the graphics on there. So I think that definitely will work out better. Pull that out. And basically, we're just going to notch the little holes here. What we'll do is, can I see through this at all? Yeah, I can see just enough to put little holes through there. And we're going to clean this up and get that back in the console or in the cabinet. And I think I just found out which board I will use for all future sort of mixes here. So yeah, all I'm going to do is I'm going to now clean both sides of this, put it back in the panel. And then the last piece that we've got to do is the base. All right, so I think it's blatantly obvious that this side of the box, this box has been sitting in the basement for quite a long time now, and it's just covered in dust. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to clean it. I'm just getting big chunks I see off, and then I'm just gonna cover it up. So, I mean, this dust is basically being held down by tape and sticky stuff now. All right. But again, for the first time since I built this thing, it is back together. It's not sticky, and there's no sign of NBA or NBA Jam anywhere on this arcade system. Yes. All right, so we got the arcade completely covered in black now, and the only thing we're waiting on is you guys. So again, shoot me that email to mavericksarcade@gmail.com and include the attachment of the image you would like to see on my arcade and what name you want me to put with that image when I print it out. And again, don't be silly with the names. Let's be honest and be serious here. And then, like I said, once we're done, we'll get a video of that. That'll look really cool, having that with all the viewer submitted photos and stuff, decorating the whole thing. And yeah, I'm going to continue to try to keep these videos going. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.